how are you seeing churches that work with us talk about donor advised funds with high capacity donors? And do we have a defined strategy around that? Talk to us a little bit about donor advised funds and how those could maybe be best used.
Yeah, a donor advised fund, um, they're hugely popular with people who technically understand charitable giving, if you will. And I think one of the stigmas around DAFs, donor advised funds, the acronym is DAF. So if I refer to it as that, as what it means, a donor advised fund, a DAF. Um, the kind of some of the concerns, for lack of a better word, that charitable organizations might have is DAF balances are growing exponentially, and those distributions aren't really matching that growth, if that makes sense. So the one thing that you want to be careful for or of is you roll out a giving through a donor advised strategy, and most people were going to do that the easy way, the low lying fruit, if you will, is simply fund that DAF with either cash or appreciated assets. And then you take your charitable deduction, but then those assets can continue to grow before they're distributed to the charity by way of a grant request. And so DAFs are extremely beneficial for people who want to take advantage of a standard deduction or excuse me, itemizing versus taking the standard deduction. They're extremely effective at dumping large asset pools into a charitable vehicle so it's not taxed, and then they can be distributed at a later date. But every church should be able to speak to, confidently educate some of their quote unquote higher capacity givers to be able to utilize a donor advised fund for their charitable giving.